Alright guys, today I've had a lot of people ask me about it. We're finally talking about Magnacut. And this is a pass-around knife. It was one that did not come out quite right, and then was a test knife for DCC. The tip ended up breaking off of it during some testing. And for anybody interested, I will put the link to the original thread for it on Reddit down below. It was a much longer blade, taller. So this ended up being a giveaway knife, and that turned into a pass-around knife for people to be able to try a Magnacut. So I know this Magnacut is at 63.5, and I got it, I sharpened it, I used it, I tested it, and then I sharpened it some more, used it some more. I did put this extra long lanyard on here. This is the sheath that it came in for the pass around. And once you stick it in here, for me, it's kind of hard to pull it out without having something on it. That's why this huge neon green lanyard's on it, only reason. Otherwise, we go ahead and blow through that cutting real quick, get to everything you guys really want to see, which is how this did, how it sharpens, how it is in use. So we'll do that and come back and talk about it. All right, now that we saw that cutting, go ahead and start out with sharpening. As I said in the beginning, this is 63.5. Bear in mind though, we're talking custom heat treat here. Now I haven't had anything else from DCC before. For those of you that don't know, that is Cuts Cutlery on Instagram. He also has a website. He's done a fair bit in Magnacut so far, as well as other steels that he uses. He has some pretty cool models. Prices are reasonable. I'll try and remember to put a link down there, and if for some reason I forget and one of you wants to go check his stuff out, let me know in the comments. I'll be sure to put it in there. So Magnacut, ton of hype around it already. I mean, ton of hype before people even got it in their hands, just from Laren talking about it. What was it going to do? How was it going to be? So I'll start out with the sharpening. Got this, had no idea what to expect. Just what I've heard. I've tried to avoid looking at as much about Magnacut opinion-wise as I possibly can, until I was able to get some in hand and actually try it out. Got this, sharpened it. First thing I noticed immediately, at 63.5 on this Magnacut, metal moves extremely fast. I did freehand this just a couple days ago, and As you guys can see, this is part of why it became a giveaway, then pass around knife. There is a little dip in the grind here. From what I've seen of his work, he doesn't sell stuff like that. That's why this became a giveaway. So metal moves fast on this. I had a big for me burr very quickly. Since I didn't know what to expect, I hit it with a 600 grit just to see what was going to happen. I don't recall how many passes, but it felt pretty good. So I stepped down to the 300 to go ahead and make sure the angle was right. Had a nice square apex on the KME. I didn't even get 10 passes on the first side with that 300 grit diamond plate, and that's where my big burr came from. Big burr, I can't stress that enough. But don't click out yet before you hear how it drops. So I flipped it over. I hit the other side real quick. Did as much as I could to reduce the burr, and even on a 300 grit plate, it got really small. Then I hit it on 600, then 1500. Reduced the burr as much as I possibly could. Took it to the strop. Same as all my other testing strop, 631 micron. And within just a couple of passes on the 6 micron, no more burr on here. Really impressed with how fast it deburrs. Deburrs along the lines of other custom heat treat stuff that I have from Alex, from Roman, and from some other people. I know this had more than enough sharpenings, so I just went ahead and tested it right away. Sharpens good, moves metal fast, straps back real easy. Keep that in mind for after I give the results and talk about how it uses and how I think it compares to 4V. So on the first test, and this is at 15 degrees per side. On the first test, 181 feet fine edge, 103 feet working edge, for a total of 284 feet. Sharpened it again, stropped it the same way, 631 micron, 5 passes per side at 1500 grit. Ran the test again. On that test, 180 feet fine edge, 110 feet working edge, for a total of 290 feet. So how does that compare? Keep in mind this is at 63.5. I know that this 4V might be hard to see. It's up there. Right back there from Eric's logo. This is a little over 65. This particular 4V Manix did a little bit better on fine edge, and it did about 45 to 50 feet better on total cutting. Yes, this production. Yes, I know that this is almost 2 points harder than this Magnacut is. What does that mean for the Magnacut that I tested? It means at 63.5, this heat treat, I don't know what we're going to expect from production, but being that close on the fine edge, and for the decrease in hardness, still being that close on working edge, I'm not sure what to tell you guys to expect from a production standpoint. Now, there are plenty of people using this from a custom standpoint. If it is anything like this, yes, the best test on this only did 290 feet. Keep in mind that is softer than the production stuff, and I'm willing to bet if you use both of these, if you use both of them a lot, you may be able to tell, but for the average person, you're probably not going to find much of a difference between this and that 4V Mannix, for example. Now we'll swoop in with another custom heat treat, 4V. This is one of the originals that Alex did. I did not have time to film the testing of this one yet. I have tested this one. I know that this one is high 64, around 65, I believe. I'd have to look at the card to be sure. I do know on the early stuff Alex sent out, he had an actual hardness, not a target hardness, if I'm remembering right. Super easy to sharpen. Large scale manufacturing, 4V. Nothing wrong with it. Doesn't move metal as fast as this Magnacut. Nothing wrong with it though. This, super easy to sharpen. Not just because it's thin, just because the heat treat on it is really good. Not going to spoil the testing on this, but I will refer to this Magnacut when I do get the video on this 4V out. What I'm saying about this Magnacut is, because we don't have any production Magnacut on a large scale yet, none of us know what to expect. Are they going to be able to do it the way it should be? Or are we going to get more of that huge M390 20CV 204P fiasco we've had going on for so long? You can go ahead and throw imported D2 in there too. That's another huge problem steel. I don't know if this is going to be a problem steel. However, if you can get it from a custom maker and you like 4V, you're going to like this also. If you're okay with any of the 2017 and newer Spyderco Sprinter exclusives and crewwear, at 63.5, that's about what to expect for edge retention when you get some Magnacut. So now stepping a little further, if you go check out Roman's Instagram, he's done a whole lot of testing with Magnacut. He was able to get it up somewhere, I believe, around 67, maybe a little higher. However, he said over 65, it starts to become unstable. And as you get harder than that, the edge becomes brittle and chips easily. I know John at BGM's doing Magnacut. DCC here is doing Magnacut. There's a whole handful of people now doing Magnacut. There's a bunch of it floating around out there now. Pick it up, give it a try. Because of the finish on this, I really don't really have much to be able to test stainless wise. I don't know how much that would actually affect it. However, I have no reason right now with the testing that's been done just to develop it to believe that it's not stainless or that it's going to be an issue. And as far as use goes, it uses a whole lot like the factory 4V. Because I've used my different Spyderco 4V is enough. I can notice a little bit of a difference. Not going to lie to you guys and say there's a huge difference. I can notice I get a little bit more time out of that. As far as how it strops back during use for maintenance, it's a whole lot like 4V. I guess the hype behind it for me would be if it's stainless and you absolutely need something that is stainless. Is it something I'm going to test more and explore more in the future? Absolutely. Definitely want to get some that just has a belt finish on it. Maybe a bead blast on it. See how it does as far as corrosion goes. And definitely need a bigger knife to do some kind of toughness stuff on it. This is not terribly thick stock. It's not very big. And because this is getting passed on to other people after me, I don't want to go and put big chunks in the blade or anything like that and reduce the life of this anymore before the maximum amount of people that are able to experience this actually get to experience it. So to wrap this up, so far, I don't see any downsides to it really. Nothing that I can see. Just keep in mind, if you get some and you're sharpening it, it's going to burr up pretty quick. It's definitely going to be a fast sharpen. How it's going to be done in production, that I don't know. Like I just said, the hype behind it, the only thing I can see is that it is stainless and it is supposed to have the attributes of 4V. Now, at the same time, if you like 4V and you don't need stainless, I'm still going to test more. I just don't see, other than stainless, the appeal to this if you like 4V. Except, I'm willing to guarantee that the sharpening translates into grindability, which is going to be great for custom makers and manufacturers alike. So I do expect to see a whole lot of Magnacut in production knives once it becomes more widely available. How much, I can't say, but I am willing to bet you're going to see it from just about every major maker of US knives. You are going to see Magnacut. I'd be surprised if there's one that steers away from it and does not use it at all. If you guys have had any Magnacut, you have any experience with it, let me know how it went down below. If you have any questions about it, I'll try to answer them as best I can. And I will update you guys as I can get some more Magnacut for testing. Whether I have to buy it, borrow it, or whatever else, I will update on it down the road. And I hope to be able to get it at different hardnesses to see what it does at a lower hardness and in that 64.5 to 65 range. That's all I have for this one. As always, I appreciate your time and thanks for watching.